Hello, we are back with our first game of Season 6. So we have Undead against Nurgle in this one. There's quite a big team difference value. A big reason for that is the Undead team are missing a mummy this game. They have one, there's no permanent injury, but it's sitting out a game. They have Garden Stand Firm, so it's quite a big player missing. But in their inducements, they did induce a guard mummy there, so that's part of that. And I think it looks like an extra reroll. I'm pretty sure they haven't got 5 rerolls on the roster, so I'm pretty sure the rest of the inducements has gone towards that. Let's go for just the skill ups, level ups. Display those. Nurgle chose to attack, I think. Yep, so chose to receive and attack. We've got, how's fan factor looking? Yeah, one fan factor fame for Nurgle. And then we've got, so straight away, just to comment on the Undead setup, mummies on the line against a lot of teams is going to mean they're not going to be blocking the line of scrimmage because they can't really handle it. But Nurgle have quite a significant strength advantage in this game. So even though there are 2 strength 5 mummies here, and 1 strength 5 player, and then 4 warriors at strength 4, and 1 strength 4 blitz a turn if they use a Pestigor to do that, Nurgle do have a big strength advantage here. And as a general rule of thumb, if the opponent is going to be able to get 2 dice on whatever you put on the line, just make sure it's the most expendable players you can, because they're going to be able to hit the mummies turn 1. And if you lose a mummy early in the game, or at all really, if an Undead team loses 1 mummy, it's already like seriously weakened. So risking them like this is it's not asking for trouble so much as inviting it. And giving it the opportunity. Like, don't give them the opportunity to get that hit in first before you can even do anything with your mummy. But otherwise, they've just got things to be careful of. Like, if this was a quick snap, it wasn't, but these warriors could have stepped in to hit these whites. So they're like 3 hits you're giving up. And Nurgle have set up to focus on 1 mummy here rather than the other one. And they can get 2 dice with the beast quite easily. Or indeed with warriors. I'm sort of surprised that Nurgle haven't set up with another warrior here with a couple of assists, because that's all they need to get 2 dice on this mummy as well. But I'll have a quick look at the Undead team. So apart from that guard, induced guard mummy, there's a block mummy here. 2 whites, one of them has tackle, the other one's not yet levelled or at any points. 2 ghouls, both with block, one has movement 8. There's a block zombie here. On the bench they've got a block skeleton, so I don't know if that was missed, because that could well have just been in for this skeleton instead, and that's an immediate improvement on what you got on the pitch. 2 zombies on the bench as well, and they've got a few unlevelled lineman types, skeletons and zombies. Yeah, that is them. Nurgle are attacking, so I'll sit behind them. Back here they've got an unlevelled Pestigor, who I guess they're going to want to try and score touchdowns with. There's a block dodge one, who's actually also quite close to levelling. So they're going to be, they're a good candidate for scoring too. But has block and dodge already, so he's going to be a tough player to get the ball off of as well. Where should we go next? We've got a leader tackle rotter over here. So the 2 ghouls are the only players that tackle is going to affect, and likewise the tackle white here. This is the only dodge player on the Nurgle team. Other rotters we've got a dirty player one, and we've got an unlevelled one there. And warriors, we've got block tackle, a block, and then 2 unlevelled ones. There's a fast Pestigor there with block. There's a full Pestigor on the bench who's got diving tackles, so saving that for when they're defending. And then the beast has guard. It's the only level it's taken up, but obviously has lots of other stuff going on as well. So mighty blow and strength 5 automatically make it dangerous, same as the mummies in that regard. But it also has tentacles, which is going to stop people dodging away from it. Foul appearance, so 1 in 6 blocks against it aren't going to go off. And then disturbing presence, which all the warriors have as well, and that's these squares here. And in case you're new to Nurgle, anyone in one of those zones, it's -1 to throw or catch the ball, and they stack as well. So if you're standing there, you'd get -2 on those, even more than that, even because you're closer to the beast as well. That'd be -3. So they stack up where these squares overlap. So that's the Nurgle there, and it's a blitz for the Undead. So we can think about what the Undead can do with that. And there's a nice juicy gap in the line there. Not a gap so much, but that's a weakness. And this should be where they blitz here. Because if they can do that, perhaps with... So there's an assist there. Now I'd go from this point. You've got a white here who's got block. That's 70% chance to knock that rotter over. And then you've got hull, which you can send your 2 ghouls through. And if you get 2 ghouls in here, that gives the undead, the Nurgle, just loads of problems straight away. You already got 2 dangerous players in their face, and you've got to deal with the ball. You've got to probably blitz there, which means you're not blitzing up here, and it means you're giving the Nurgle loads of problems by getting players in here where they don't want them. Because Nurgle want to hold this line, hold everyone back, and then just shuffle up the pitch as slow as they can to score in turn 8. So don't blitz there. So this white being in here is not doing anything. He's just marking both players. He can't assist there because he's marked. And it looks like they're going to be blitzing this warrior instead. So warriors are more... It's a higher value target, but it doesn't get them through in the same way as blitzing there would have done. And this ghoul can carry on. This one can kind of come right around here, but it's definitely not the same as if they'd made the gap there and just like flooded through. As it is, this rotter is holding up all these players instead of being on the floor and being a gap. Yep, so ball goes deep. And the other thing as well, like if you've got 2 ghouls here, they have to pick the ball up. Like they've got to just go and do that first, otherwise you concede. And it means they've got to save their reroll for that, which means they're probably not going to take all the blocks that are going to be dangerous because they have to reroll the ball, make sure they've got a reroll to pick the ball up. So blitzes can be a really big, like, pivotal point in the game, but you have to like make the most of them to make sure they are. So they've used their blitz there. They didn't have the 2 dice blocks that they wanted. They do have 2 dice on this mummy now though, which is Moriarty is going to hurt. Just a push. Pestigore coming back in to cover that ghoul. And that's a mummy down again. Or hit again. But they use a reroll to avoid the turnover and get the knockdown. And that is a turn 1 injured mummy. So where I was flagging up, they just don't need to be on the line. You know, make sure they can play the mummies, because they can always, if they can get 2 dice on a strength 5 player, they're going to take it. So it does make the ball pick up, but with no ghouls in here, like they maybe could have been, Nurgle are just in control of this already. And one thing I want to point out there as well, this dirty player was going to step in there anyway. I know that the beast failed really stupid, but if he's going to be there anyway, put him there first, then you got a 3 dice block. But as it stands, it was stupid. Failed the really stupid. Mummy's got 3 dice here, could take. And that would free up the white, who's much quicker. Does get a stun. And it's a block mummy as well, so 3 dice with block on that to free the white up is probably a better move potentially. It does free, I guess, the mummy up to blitz somewhere. Here might be a good choice. No, he's going for this warrior. Okay, so this warrior is the least involved Nurgle player in the game. And he's pinned against the touchline, so that's going to hold that there. But this warrior's been responsible for pulling loads of undead players this way. But some going back over here now. I think I'd like to see more pressure on the ball. I mean, that's just how I play, I suppose, but it does give them headaches. It gives them problems to solve. So all heading up this way, with the undead getting drawn here, and then some have gone back and gone a bit central, but they've left all this space for Nurgle to play with. That's another injury, so that's undead down to 9. And that's 2 regens fouled as well, so let's keep in mind that's a broken skeleton that's -1 agility, I think. It's not a massive deal, but you may as well not keep that skeleton now. It's not going to be any good. Failed really stupid again. I could also, again, have gone this player first to push away that white, and then you've got 3 dice. And they've taken that one down with the warrior, and then the dirty player is hitting the white anyway. But yeah, that's a safer move than 2 dice with the beast with loader, and then it sets up a 3 dice, so it's worth exploring that sort of opportunity. Dirty player down from the white. Now this mummy, I think this turn, this mummy has to get back in the game, mostly because it's the only mummy on the pitch now. Undead need it over here to be helping to dominate the middle. Over here, I know it's keeping this warrior out of the game, but that's a great trade for the Nurgle. An unleveled warrior for a block mummy. I mean, all that warrior has to do is stand still, and if this mummy doesn't move anywhere, it's keeping it out of the game. And that's great. I mean, there should maybe just be mummy over here, start getting back involved in the game, and stick like a... What's this here? Oh, it's a rotter. That's no good. I don't know. If one of the skeletons was maybe still around to switch out, leave the skeleton there, and they can blitz out, but that's going to be their blitz for the turn. They won't be using it elsewhere. This player is too good to be doing this job. This is for a zombie or a skeleton, if you want to pin someone against the touchline. It's a good choice of blitz target, though. Hitting the cage and gets a knockdown. Doesn't follow up, though. So removal back, so it's 10 plays 9 now. And it comes around that way, so marker on the ball carrier gives them problems. They've marked that warrior out, who's probably the best candidate for blitzing this off. So that means this rotter now is potentially the one, or maybe this pesticle. Okay, beast finally moves. That's the first successful, really stupid. And that puts tentacles on that ghoul. So just pushing it there now is gonna be good. Okay, have to hit them both down with the blocks. Ball carrier does have dodge, so you can just dodge away, but they're gonna block it away. Gets the power as well, and yeah, in there. So that means that ghoul is just not a problem anymore, as long as the beast has a tackle zone. And yeah, no hurry to get on the pitch. Pretty safe in there. And that's a double skulls, which they're taking. They've still got rerolls left, but they're taking that. Okay, opens with that rotter. That does free up this white, who's the tackle one. Yeah. Not sure where we're going. But yeah, this white is free, which is useful. It's just what you do with it now. Perhaps ideally you want to hit someone around the ball carrier. Either go for this warrior. So it sort of cuts off the advance here, but if they're going to leave this space available... Yeah, so white's gone back in there. I think Nurgle will need to attack this space next turn. Which will mean this is the blitz, and they just move in here. And just own that bit of the pitch, and then just carry on. And to stop that, they need... so they've got the ghoul in there because they want to 1 dice the beast. Is that... Okay, foul appearance. Rerolling foul appearance is risky. Especially on a 1 dice. But do get the power net. And yeah, the mummy's still over there. So I think we needed to see probably this white after the blitz be around here. And we need to see the mummy come this way. And that cuts off the opportunity for them to go and do that. And this warrior next turn can just stand up and move 1 square without rolling any more dice. It's not going to be a problem next turn. And then you can maybe deal with it again. But this is still a good trade for the Nurgle. They're still winning that. And being a player up as well. That's sort of how they're winning this drive, really. That's the blitz there, and that's condensed. The Undead's basically in 3 bits. There's this mummy who's out of the game. There are these 3 who are being taken care of by the Beast of Nurgle. So that's 4 players for 2 players in Nurgle's favour. And then the rest of the Undead team are just crushed in here. And Nurgle are a player up in terms of who's actually on the pitch. This is probably going to have to be a dodge away from this white. is, and you have the dodge skill on that player anyway. And then dodge, try to dodge away. I don't know. I think that warrior laying there, as seeing that mummy's not moved for 2 turns because it's trying to hold it there. I think you just keep that for as long as that mummy doesn't move. If you're holding it there, this warrior's doing everything it needs to do by just laying on the floor. And I know you maybe want it back, but yeah, it's 5+4+ and a 2+ to try and get it free. So now by doing that and coming away from the pitch, the mummy's back in the game. So I don't know. I don't think the mummy should have been the one standing there holding that warrior there, but by trying to get away, you've sort of released the mummy to come and be in the way again. This is where stand firm's so good on a beast, because these ghouls are back in the game now as well because of that pushback. And I think again, yeah, not easily. Okay, he's trying to dodge through. He's gone through there, and the blitz there on the dirty player. So go for a knockdown, follow up to mark the ball carrier. This mummy was here, was it 1, 2, 3? I think if they'd thrown a go for it to there, and then freed this ghoul up, you could have got 1 dice on the ball from that point. Yeah, because you'd have taken that assist out. But you know, it's fishing for a 6 basically with just a pal. Beast was nicely isolated by the Undead, but past its 4+ really stupid. And that's just going to hold these 2 players up again and take them out of the game. They've got this warrior back, but it can't really do anything. It's got 1 space to move when it stands up. Okay, blitzing just to get the horns for the 2 dice. Don't think they're moving anywhere with that one after. This ball carrier can just be away now. Warrior maybe in here somewhere. A bit further up, okay. So he was out of reach of the mummy anyway. And that's a white down. This warrior going. Yeah, so that could have been done much earlier. I'll go for its 2. Blitz, so giving up the score to hit here. So it wouldn't have been a turnover, wanted the knockdown, so should re-roll at it. I think it's this ghoul coming up this way. No, it's going forwards. Okay, trying to take the beast down, although that's not an assist there. Yeah, I think that player in over here makes that 2 dice. But there wasn't adding anything. And that is a 1 dice skull from a zombie. So this warrior just going to 1 square after standing up this time. And here I like, because this 4-point warrior, it's well worth trying to score, and you've still got a reroll. So I think I'd be going warrior forwards as far as you can, then hand off to it. It's 4+ with a reroll, 75%. And then you level that warrior. Which, I know this one's close as well, but I think that's just so worth the 3 and 4 risk. And if you do still drop it, then you pick it up. You've got 2 turns to pick it up with this player and score. Maybe try once more with the warrior. But you're out of rerolls at that point, I suppose. Or don't use the reroll to catch it and then use it to pick the ball up with the pesticle. I just definitely think it's worth a shot. In that situation where there's no pressure from the opponents to go for the handoff for the warrior, I think it's well worth it. But they do put it in on up to turn 6. That gives the Undead 3 turns to try and score back before half time. 2 down there, but still 11 players. Knockout not coming back. So both teams are still have 11 on the pitch. Both still have a bench as well, I think. Yep. Got block skeleton over here, who's better than a skeleton without block or a zombie without block. So probably be coming onto the pitch. And I think we've got. Okay, yeah, that's the Pesticore who's off the pitch. It's just that one there. Diving tackle one's back here to sweep and mark up any scoring threats that get through. And Undead do need to consider that they've only got 3 turns to score, and that means getting scoring threats forward. So they've got 2 turns to make sure they've got someone who can reach. And I think that means blitzing the line this turn to try and make a gap. And because of the way the Nurgle's set up, I think that means you have to use the mummy. Let's have a quick look at what sort of options they had. Hang on, we're still in the first half. Yeah, I think really it's one of these 2 warriors. I have to be the blitz from the mummy, probably. Or potentially this, yeah, one of these Pestigores on the edge, if you want to come down and blitz from there. I think probably, yeah, this warrior here, because it doesn't have block. This one does. Mummy's got block. I think you blitz that. Like we looked at with where they got rolled the blitz from the first kickoff. Find a target you can knock over and leave a space. So if you do that, I mean, I'm not sure. This white doesn't need to be back here at all either. 1 ghoul back here is plenty, especially a movement 8-1. This skeleton's not going to be involved in the game. Movement 5. So 2, 4, 5 can get here this turn, and then it's got 2 turns to maybe try and do something. But if it's up here on the halfway line, it can start marking players, putting assists in, at the very least. So yeah, these 2 players definitely need to be further forwards. And if you have a ghoul and 2 whites up here who can all try and get through this gap, you're starting to put scoring threats in place. Whereas if you're kind of lagging back with players back here and not getting forward momentum this turn, it's going to be a real struggle to try and score in 3 turns. Have opened up with the block mummy. Don't want to follow up because it will engage the beast, which is why the beast is there, which is good placement. But then goes with a not block zombie, has to use a reroll, so no more rerolls now. And they've still got to try and score in these 3 turns. Have the ball in hands, but then try and throw it, which is not going to help you get forwards quickly enough. And it's getting close to another level, but trying to get 4 passes with it, perhaps not quite so good. If you want to score on it, get it forwards. Have the other ghoul pick the ball up. And with it being the weather changed to very sunny there, so that was -1 on that pass as well. So really not a great idea to be chucking the ball about like that. When sort of the pressure's on, you've got 3 turns to try and score. No forward momentum that turn. I mean, the next turn you have to do it. So blitz with the beast here. Gets a knockdown on that zombie. But no armor break. And Nurgle can just go in and start engaging now and try and close up that space. Warrior back here. I thought maybe the 2 warriors up here is just would give them more problems. And then you've got 2 Pestigores to watch for anyone who does manage to break through. But if we look here, the furthest forward, decent speed and agility 3 undead player is this white who's trapped. This ghoul can't really get in scoring position. The quickest ghoul is back here, and the white who really probably should never have been back there is back there. I think that was probably an accidental zombie dodge, and that's turned us over. So no scoring threat in. Means the Nurgle are going to go in half time 1 up. Reroll there because they might as well on the last turn, and they get the knockdown. Don't get anything for it. Beast gets a knockdown as well. Yeah, and they'll just take their blocks to see out the turn. ghoul there. Finds a power on the ghoul, which is an injury, so that's a ghoul out of the game. There's no regeneration on ghouls. A ghoul out the next game as well. So I'll be missing that player. Okay, when we did the preview of the season, we saw that the Undead could afford a new ghoul, so it's probably definitely worth buying another one of those. Maybe look at a Fountain. Yeah, might have been worth fouling the Mummy. I guess the dirty players down this one could still do it with a +2. She's not quite as good. Maybe they thought about that. Yeah, if they could have had it so the dirty player was free to stamp on a Mummy, that would have been well worth a go. Mummy blitzes up. I'm going to go for another pass here, but no, didn't get the ball in the hands. And that is half time. So 1-0 to Nurgle, who attacked. 3 out injured, which I think is as many as they had on their bench. I think they're a team of 14. That Pestigor's back. It's Nurgle to defend. They are going 3 rotters on, so that means there's a Pestigor on the bench. It's the unlevelled one. Pretty much the same setup as last time. Yeah, last drive. Have this time got the 2 block warriors who are in weaker positions, but they have blocks, so it'll be harder to knock over. So knocking these ones over, it means these 2 players are still covering that gap, but it's not going to create a gap. And that reduces your chances of being able to make a hole there, so that's good positioning. High kick. Okay, so the fast goal. So this is a better setup, although these 2 players are just sort of hanging out there like loose ends and not really doing much. They could be up here putting assists in straight away. And that's straight into a 1 in 81, but you don't need to open up with a not block player. You've got 2 block players here who could have made that. There are 2 whites who aren't positioned in places where they could be making blocks, and they probably should be. Yeah, this player does not need to be the first one to make the block. There are loads of other options who could have been there. Nurgle, like we said at the beginning, Nurgle have quite a big strength advantage in this game, so if they're just going to engage, that's to their advantage, because it gives the Undead quite a few opportunities to fight their way out of it. And it's just going to tie up their players. So this one's coming around there. That's going to give 2 dice on this lock dodge Pestigor, who's tricky to knock over. Going for the push. I could do something similar-ish on this side. So take that assist out. Yeah, so there's no assist going on there. That's going to be 1 dice there. They could have done, this skeleton was here, 1, 2, 3, 4 in there, and then this zombie 1, 2, 3, 4 gives you 2 dice on that one. And then that one's not assisting. This one doesn't have block as well, so it's easier to knock over with the white. This is just 1 dice on a block warrior. Foul appearance again, re-roll foul appearance again, and got the PAL on 1 dice. So it's twice they've done that. Yeah, we've seen players or other teams last season re-rolling foul appearance into a 1 dice skull, and it being bad. I think the Amazon team did that against Nurgle at some point significantly. I think it led to an injury as well. I think the beast is just going in there. Maybe not yet, but I think it will want to be in there. Good blitz target, because that creates a gap, and this warrior can go through onto the ghoul who's in there. So 2 dice there. I think we'll see a Pestigore attack this space and one going around that way. Nope, Pestigore's still hanging back. One coming across. Yeah, I think you can get more players forward there. This one could have come in here to be a real threat. So, see Undead. Okay, that's freed up a couple of players for them here. I think you probably want 3, 4, 5, yeah. I think you probably want one marker there and then the white to just blitz there, and you want to push there if you get stuck with the pushback, obviously knock it down, and then the ghoul can pick the ball up. I think you kind of got to do that first. Now you've freed up these players. I think that needs to be where you go next. Okay, there's an assist there. That's from a lane down player. That's a better one to go with. Yeah, I think that should be the blitz, because you don't need any more assists. And also now, if you get stuck with a pushback at this site at this point, you're going to be in one of those 2 squares, which is still marking the ghoul. It's not a tackle zone on the ball anymore, but the ghoul still has to dodge away. If you blitz from there instead, you can push there. But does knock it over with a block player, which the white could also have done. Now free to not go pick the ball up. Doesn't do it yet. Does injure the dirty player, so that's points on that mummy. So that's 12. Ooh, that's broken the rotter. No regen on rotters. They'd get 2 injuries instead. What was it on there? I missed what it was. I thought it was saying permanent. Was it a niggling injury? Oh, -1 armour. Okay, so Ghoul does have the ball now. This doesn't feel safe. Why does this not feel safe? This player... Yeah, I can't quite get through that. I mean, if that's a knockdown, this Pestigore's just got 2 dice. I don't know if there's something else. That's probably what we're looking at. Although, or this way actually as well. There's an assist each on this skeleton. If that's a knockdown, this Pestigore has 2 dice and has blocks, so it's probably a better. Does have that, yeah. So that's probably a better blitz. Just to push though. Rerolls and just gets a push, but it's against the block and dodge target, so the chances of actually finding a 6 quite reduced, so it's quite an expensive reroll for that really. That's in there to give really stupid assist and a block assist. I think the beast is probably coming this way, isn't it? This square is probably the most ideal. It marks 2 players. No, it doesn't move. Doesn't risk losing its tackle zone that way though, I suppose. So that's the marker off the ball carrier. But where can you actually put the ghoul is the next problem. I think we'll probably see the mummy blitz, and it's probably going to be here. Yeah, but she's on a block dodge player. Does find a pal though. No armor break. But it's still sort of a question of now what. I guess you could maybe come this way. So that over here is probably the safest spot they've got. And that's a bit far forward because that's easy 2 dice. Unless you've got to do something like take the risk of a zombie dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go for it. And then this is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 go for it for 2 dice on the ball. But that's 4 plus 2 plus 2 to even get to that. Not sure what that going for it is going to achieve. There's several ways to make sure this warrior stayed. It's already marked. Okay, so they put diving tackle on there rather than just blitzing it. 2, 3, 4. 2 go for it for this warrior. Okay, diving tackle and tentacles on the ball carrier, so then maybe just gonna trust in that. Oh, warrior dodge. Okay, and with tackle as well, so that does put the ball down. Yeah, 4+ warrior dodge. So happy to risk it there, but not for the handoff in the first half to get that warrior score. You know, same role. I'm probably obvious, but I'm a fan of warrior touchdowns because they need the points. It's so hard to level Nurgle warriors. Is there might be a push play on here? Maybe less so now because they're not going to have a reroll. But just looking at, can we get? You can't really get tentacles and diving tackle off of this score anyway. So I don't know if it really matters. It's just that there was a box, and I was like, how can you do anything with that? But yeah, not with a straight 3 play. You're going to be rolling red block dice to try and move that. You'd probably have to try and get around this way, hit that, hope for a power, and then push the beast away. But that's too far. Yeah, Gaul can only really stand up then. I did go for. Okay, just failed the dodge anyway, even without diving tackle. Did get away from tentacles though. That's an 8+ roll for a strength 3 player. So yeah, immediate things. These players who are involved in the game, pull them over. So next turn they can do something. Before you roll any dice is a nice safe way of playing. There's another casualty in that warrior. That's a miss next game, which again doesn't regenerate. So that's 4 failed regens I've had. 3, sorry. Ghouls don't get to regenerate. Stand up blitz for that Pestigore. And we've got, yeah, ball is in the hands of that diving tackle Pestigore now. Go for the handoff here. So that's a 4+ handoff. Same as handing off to a warrior. Doesn't make it. But not a great deal the Undead can do. Because they just don't have anyone available to retrieve the ball. This white is probably the closest player who maybe can, and he's going to have to dodge first. So you're probably looking at, there's guard here. So that's going to be 1 dice, needing a knockdown, 1 in 3. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. No, it's best thing to do is probably make sure you can push this back, stand the mummy on the ball at first. But before you do that, there's players laying down over here who aren't going to be able to do anything this turn, but you want to make sure, like I was just saying with these, make sure they can do something next turn. So you've got 2 squares here, just move over 1, maybe even mark that warrior. Make sure that's what it's doing next turn, if anything. Yeah, maybe do that before you roll in dice. This ghoul as well, it's no good on the floor. So don't risk a turnover, stand it up first. Okay, finds a power on that block dodge Pestigore. And that's these 2 held up by a mummy now. Yeah, and these players coming over and dropping back. So they're making sure they're going to be available to affect this area of the pitch next turn. Have gone for a 3+ dodge with that white. It doesn't get away even with the reroll. A couple of 1s. Yeah, could maybe, I think it was 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 2 go for it, and then 3+ to pick up. Nurgle just going to go mark the ball. Made the loner. And so it was double both down from the beast and then re-rolled into a push. Skull both down there. Okay, found 2 dice on the mummy. for the knockdown and gets the ball. So it's back on the block dodge Pestigore. And that's, yeah, nice screening. So there's not really any way up at it from there. 2 turns to go. Looks like that'll be a second touchdown. And level for that Pestigore. Okay, keep a marker on the ball. Blitzing up with the mummy. Looks like they're just going to try and get some blocks in, see if they can snatch a couple of points for a casualty, which will not be easy against these tough players. So they've got here, just trying to dodge away. So got away from tentacles again, but found that a full blast dodge. Over to the Nurgle, so they've got, yeah, this player to come blitz. Just need to push, get some power though. For a knockout, and then this one could just run forwards and stick it in next turn. And that should be a pretty unopposed touchdown. I don't think there's any way through there really. 5+, 4+, and 2 2s to get 1 dice on the ball. Those are both down with the beast, who got stunned for it. So that beast who is still hanging around on 15 points and not levelling. Okay, this could be a play on the ball here. They've freed that skeleton. That skeleton could have blitzed, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 go for it. Yeah, had 1 dice on the ball. And if you're going to blitz this guy, use the block one. It didn't make any difference, but it's much better odds. Use the block guy. This player doesn't have block. Much more chance of a knockdown. We're going to get here. Mummy's hitting someone. Can take 1 dice on this warrior if they want. Can take 1 dice there. That's a push, and then I'll probably take that as well. Just a push 2. Oh, re-rolled it for a skull. It's the worst kind of re-roll. This one got blocked. I didn't even have block. It's basically a 4+ to look it over. But there we go. That is a level on that Pestigore. I haven't seen what that's taken yet, actually. There was a quick report in our chat, but I think I missed that Pestigore had levelled. I think I'd probably go guard or stand firm with it. So that's as a Nurgle warrior levelling with the MVP and a mummy levelling with the MVP. That's quite nice. But yeah, I think first injuries and knockouts and stuff had quite a big effect, and the failed regeneration rolls, which is I think 3 from 3. Yeah, so 3 of the regens failed. Other casualty was a ghoul who doesn't get regeneration. Tentacles didn't do anything interesting. Foul appearance came up a couple of times, but yeah, not necessarily all that much. But yeah, the only points for the undead, all on that mummy who did level, so that is a positive from the game for them. They've got a couple of players out next time. They'll have their other mummy back, which is an upside though. And then a load of points for the Nurgle. We've got 10, 14, 19 points altogether, which is pretty cool. So only game so far. We've got Chaos against High Elves is next Wednesday, so that's my game. We'll be playing that then. I've not heard anything about when this Dark Elf Amazon game is going to be yet, but we are underway. We have 2 weeks to play our games. This Chaos player still needs to level up. Probably do it just before our match, I imagine. But that's those 2 teams. Let's have a look at the Nurgle team. So you've got 70k in the bank. Not really much to spend it on anymore, unless they do want to save up for a 3rd team reroll. Which they'll be missing next. Oh no, it's a dirty player who's out, not the leader. 2 heads they took. Oh no, I do remember seeing that. Yeah, that was in the update. So that's +1 on dodges, which can be really useful. As we know, 2+ dodges or 3+ into tackle zones, and 2 heads often gets used to help dodge into tackle zones, which is really quite useful. That was, I think, the only level there. Oh no, there was a warrior leveled as well, wasn't there? Who took block? Yeah, it's that one on 7 points. Could have scored with that one though, and that'll be up. That'll probably be on block as well, but this one wouldn't have got the level, of course. Yeah, that's where they are. Missing that dirty player next time. They've not done a lot of fouling. It's not a very high fouling league, but they do have it as an option. But don't next time. I can't remember who they've got next with that dirty player out. They've got Dark Elves next time. And then the Undead team, so they did level that mummy, who probably took guard, I guess. Yeah, did take guard. There we go, that's that one. 3 players out next time, so yeah, 2 of those were permanent. I think you probably fire the skeleton. I know agility 1 is not really that much worse than agility 2, but it's 4+ rolls down to 5+ rolls for them to do useful stuff, which you're not going to do that much, but if they need it, it's probably not worth keeping this player anyway. This one's just out, and this one's just out as well. There's nothing permanent on either of those. So again, short on players next time, but they do have 2 mummies back. And that's where we are, so more games to come, and we'll be back then.